In this video here, I want to address what I do to keep myself sexually healthy, sexually active, being able to have intimacy with my partner. Because I feel like if you want to be sexually active, you can't just take your coochie and just put it on a shelf and separate it from your body. My coochie is part of my body. So if I'm healthy, if I'm feeling good, then I'm able to be sexually active. It ain't like I could just take my cooch and just say, you know what, okay, cooch, you're only going to be needed tonight between the hours of 8 and 11 p.m. It don't work like that. Your cooch, your penis is a part of your entire body. So you have to incorporate your entire body in order to make sure that you can still be sexually active. Now, the most important thing that I do is y'all go to the gym. Now I know I brought my girlfriend to the gym a couple of weekends ago, and she's been hearing me. She's one of my best friends for over 35 years, right? She's been hearing me talk about my gym forever. I'm like, I go to the gym, I do this, I do that. And I think my parents think when I go to the gym that I be up in there like Richard Simmons. They was like, you don't need to go to the gym every single day. Well, the thing is, my gym is more like a spa. Okay, I pay a lot of money to go to my gym. I don't pay a lot of money for brand name this, and that, because at the end of the day, I'm cheap and I don't believe in spending my money on that stuff. But one thing I will spend my money on is a nice gym. I love going to the gym because I feel like that's a huge stress reliever, but I know that I need to move my body. I know that lifting weights is key to being able to be physically active. Look at our parents. If you're in your 50s and if you are blessed enough to still have your mom or your dad, the older they get, how easy it is it for them to get up from a seated to a standing position. Y'all, this is so important. And I don't think we really focus enough on that. We take that for granted at our age right now because probably if you're 50 years old, you could probably easily get up from a seated to a standing position, not even thinking twice about it. But I can promise you, as you age, the muscles in your legs, you're going to need them more and more and more. And so, how do you keep those muscles strong, y'all? We have to lift weights. We have to make sure that we are prioritizing some type of weight bearing activities. I'm not saying don't do cardiovascular activity. And I've said this because I used to be a personal trainer when I was in my 20s. Cardiovascular activity is not for losing weight, it is to keep your heart healthy. You should not skip on that, but do not skip the weight bearing activities. Either way, when I go to the gym and I'm short on time, y'all, I'm going to prioritize weight bearing activities over the cardio. And if I don't have enough time in the gym to do cardio, y'all, I will come in the house. I'll do dancing. I'll make sure I stand up in my standing desk. I'll walk my slow dog, who literally is super duper slow. You don't want to walk anymore? We ain't even make it a block. Do you want to walk anymore? I take it's a no. It's a no. All right, no worries. We'll go back home. The second biggest thing that I do to take care of myself, y'all, I do watch what I eat. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I love cake and I love cupcakes. I am not a muffin or a cookie or a donut person. Like, you could put all that in front of me and I'll just walk right by it. That won't bother me, but you put some fresh cake and some fresh cupcakes in my face. I do have a hard time saying no. I ain't gonna lie. My one of my best friends, like, she owns a bakery. She owns a bakery. Do you understand what I'm saying? She owns a freaking bakery. Besides those temptations, y'all, for the most part, I have a really healthy diet. When my kids were younger and when they were in the house, I cooked. I'm gonna tell you right now, I barely turn on my stove. Right now, my stove is a decorative item. It's just a piece that sits in the house. So yeah, I do go out and eat a lot more often than I used to. One thing that I pay attention about where I go to eat, I ask these places, what kind of oil do you cook the food in? Now, I have limited myself to where I can go eat just because based on the oils. So I go to Kava a lot. Kava cooks their food in olive oil. Not unless you get those chips, right? Those pita chips. That is not cooked in olive oil. I had to ask, but I never go there to get that anyway. I go to Cava a lot, or my other go-to place, because if I'm on the go, I may go to Panera Bread and get the vegan sandwich, the sandwich that literally is just vegetables and bread, and I might get some tomato soup. But other than that, I keep my diet pretty simple because I'm not cooking. Now, can I cook? Yes. So when I cook, because I'm so used to cooking for three boys, I cook large portions. Then we end up having leftovers for 20 years. Like, I made a big, huge pot of chicken enchilada soup. I mean, a big pot. And when I looked at that soup, I was like, damn, I'm gonna be eating this for 55 years. Yeah, I want to briefly interrupt you to tell you about our 10 days couple connection challenge. It is a challenge to where we want you to intentionally connect with your partner. You will receive a mini guide with a series of 10 different questions, 10 different activities that you can do with your partner over a course of 10 different days. No, you will not get an email from me every single day. Once you click on the link below, you will receive your guide immediately. Y'all use this as an opportunity to connect with your person because growing apart is a choice, but also staying together is also a choice. And it's a choice to where you have to be intentional. Nobody stays together by chance. Nobody. You have to commit to staying together by conversation, getting to know each other, loving on each other, and spending time with each other. So please, y'all, click on the link below, download the guide, and y'all, let's get back to reconnecting. Another thing that I do, I think is muy importante, y'all. I will get my sleep. I'm telling you right now, when my body says it's time to go to sleep, she means that shit. Like, I don't waste no time. I shut that laptop down. I go in the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I put my bonnet on and I get ready for bed and I'm out. I have told my partner because he has done this many times, woke me up in the middle of the night just to have sex. And I'm like, if you want to have sex, like it's we got to set the time. I have to be very intentional to say, you know what, I'm going to log off a little bit earlier. Instead, I'd rather do that than to be woken up from my deep sleep at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with a baseball bat knocking on my back. Right. So yes, I'm prioritizing sleep. My partner knows that. I know that we're getting our rest. Another thing that I do to really take care of myself is, y'all, I try my best to manage stress. I do not have a stress-free life. I don't. I'm a mother to three adult sons. Okay. Trust and believe. If any of y'all have raised three sons or any children, period, you know the children, especially the adult kind, can be very stressful. So I do not have a stress-free life. I have to be intentional with managing my stress. In this book that she talks about, in this book called Grown Woman Talk, by again Dr. Sharon Malone. In this book, she talks about a term called weathering. We women, as mothers, it's like we take on everybody's stuff. And as a mother of three sons, I can sit here and promise and tell you that I have taken on my children's stuff, their stress, their problems, everybody's stress, everybody's problem. It's not the stress that can take people out. It's the chronic stress that you never let go of. You just keep and keep and keep. It's going to build up in your body, y'all. So, how do I manage the stress in my life? I go to yoga. Now, I don't go to the yoga that's we are bent over and all different. I ain't no, I'm not. And I probably should. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's not for me. I go to a yoga to where it's more meditative. It's yin, right? And when I tell you it's an hour class, or sometimes it's an hour, 15-minute class, and it allows me to just focus on my breath, focus on stretching, long stretches, right? Because when you have when you're very sedentary with a desk job, your hips are going to get tight, your back is going to get tight, right? It's imperative that we stretch those things, especially when we talk about sex. Like, because my hands, I mean, my legs don't go, like they used to back in the day, like this. No, put them down, put them down, put them down. But they can stretch a little bit more when I'm actively taking yoga and I'm actively stretching them out. They can stretch a little bit more. So if you're finding your hips tight, your back tight, y'all look into a good yoga class or Pilates. As we age, y'all, that grinding the concrete, paving the concrete, right? Running and doing all that CrossFit and all that other stuff. I'm not saying not to do it, but what I am saying is, y'all, look into yoga and Pilates as well. So I also do meditation. There's some apps out here that can help you. You can even stay here on YouTube. There's plenty of guided meditations or just meditative music. Yeah, please learn how to meditate. And really, all it is just being quiet with your thoughts. Quiet, and you can also guide your thoughts. Go within. I'm not saying, oh, well, I gotta go get I gotta get the kids, I gotta do this, I gotta go pick up the potatoes, then I gotta chop them up. That is not meditating. That's just you going through your today list. You have to be able to calm those thoughts and focus on the thoughts you want to have. Another thing that y'all, I know that we as men and women, we got to get better at. I have my girlfriend time. I don't care if you've been married 55 years. I'm telling you now, you have to have a community. Your spouse cannot be your whole community. Your children cannot be your community. Take a girls trip, take a guys trip. Okay, but you got to have a community, a golf trip. My partner, he loves golf. He goes on golf trips, right? Do something that is just going to allow you to just have fun, laugh. I fully love my girlfriends, and I am so blessed to be able to have three solid women in my life since I was in my teens. And again, we older, we're grandparents. Well, two of us are grandparents. One of us never had kids, and the other one, she still wants grandchildren. She's waiting. Also, if you're in a relationship, y'all, keep the love alive. Spend time with your partner. Sex does not just start again just because we get in the bed and you done click the light off. Okay, well, now I'm going to have to enter the penis into the coochie, and now we're going to have intercourse. All the things I just described is a collective way how I take care of myself so that I can physically be able to enjoy sex mentally and physically. I want to enjoy it. And that's what we have to do. It's mind, body, spirit, community. We have to focus on those things so that we can bring it all together. Yeah, and in this book, again, I'm still quoting from the Grown Women Talk book. I want to read this quote real quick. Sex after 50 can be a lot of things, but one thing it's not is sex at 20 or 30. Sex after 50 is something you plan for and create, not something you sit idly by waiting for, because you could be waiting forever. Yo, we got to be intentional. If y'all want some booty, if y'all want some sex, you want some intercourse, you want some loving, you want some intimacy, there is nothing wrong with you going out here to create it. If you are not in a monogamous relationship, y'all, please protect yourself physically, sexually, mentally. Please use some discernment when you're inviting somebody new into your life. Yeah, please check out the other videos on my channel where I talk about erectile dysfunction, the pelvic floor issues, where I talk about what we can do about these things. Let's build a community. Let's share the information. Please, again, consider liking and subscribing if you like this type of content, y'all. Till next week, y'all take care of yourselves.